A home can look beautiful during a showing and still hide expensive problems. Fresh paint, good lighting, and clean furniture do not tell you whether the roof leaks, the wiring is safe, or the plumbing is failing. That is why a home inspection matters. A home inspection is a professional visual review of a property's condition. It is not a guarantee that every problem will be found, and it is not the same as an appraisal. The inspection is about condition. The appraisal is about value for the lender. The inspector usually looks at major systems: roof, foundation, electrical, plumbing, heating, cooling, drainage, windows, doors, attic, basement, and visible structural clues. The exact scope depends on the property and local practice. The scope matters because buyers sometimes expect certainty that no inspection can provide. A visual inspection is a strong tool, but it is still limited by what can be safely accessed and observed. The inspection is especially important because buyers are emotional. After finding a house they like, people often want the deal to work. That hope can make warning signs feel smaller. An inspector brings a more neutral set of eyes. Buyers can become attached before they understand the building. They imagine furniture, family routines, and future memories. That emotional picture is powerful, so the inspection has to bring attention back to the physical house. A roof issue is a classic example. A small stain on a ceiling may suggest an old leak, an active leak, poor flashing, or something else. The inspector cannot always see inside every wall, but they can flag clues that deserve attention. Electrical problems can be serious because they affect safety. Outdated panels, exposed wiring, overloaded circuits, missing grounding, or unsafe DIY work may not be obvious to a buyer walking through quickly. Electrical problems are also difficult because buyers may not know what they are looking at. A panel can look ordinary to a buyer and still contain outdated, unsafe, or overloaded components. Plumbing issues can also hide behind walls or under floors. Low water pressure, old pipes, slow drains, water stains, or signs of previous leaks can suggest future repairs. A clean bathroom does not always mean a healthy plumbing system. Foundation and drainage deserve attention because water and movement can create large costs. Cracks, sloping floors, sticking doors, poor grading, and water near the foundation may all point to problems that need expert review. Water is one of the biggest inspection themes because it travels. A grading problem outside can become a basement issue. A roof flashing problem can become a wall stain. One moisture clue may point to a wider path. The inspection report usually separates minor maintenance from major concerns. A loose doorknob is not the same as unsafe wiring. Buyers should avoid panicking over every note, but they should also avoid dismissing the serious ones. A good inspection can change negotiation. The buyer may ask for repairs, request a credit, renegotiate the price, bring in a specialist, or walk away if the contract allows it. The inspection is not only information, it can affect the deal. Negotiation after inspection should be proportionate. Asking for every tiny repair can irritate the seller and distract from major concerns. The strongest requests focus on safety, function, cost, and deal-changing defects. Specialist inspections may be needed. A general inspector may recommend a roofer, electrician, plumber, structural engineer, pest inspector, pool expert, or mold specialist. That does not mean the house is terrible, it means the question needs deeper expertise. Specialists can also protect negotiations from guessing. Instead of arguing about whether a crack is serious, a structural engineer can give a more grounded opinion. One mistake is expecting the inspector to predict every future repair. Inspections are limited by access, visibility, time, and conditions on the day. Furniture, weather, stored items, or seller limitations can prevent full certainty. The limits of an inspection should be respected. Inspectors usually do not open walls, move heavy furniture, or guarantee hidden conditions. That limitation is not failure, it is the boundary of a visual inspection. Another mistake is ignoring the report after closing. The report is not only a negotiation tool, it can become a maintenance plan. Buyers can use it to prioritize repairs during the first months of ownership. Sellers can use inspections too. A pre-listing inspection may reveal problems before buyers find them. That gives the seller time to repair, disclose, price correctly, or prepare for negotiation. The inspection contingency matters if the contract includes one. It usually gives the buyer a limited time to inspect and respond. Missing the deadline can reduce the buyer's options, even if the report finds something serious. Buyers should attend the inspection when possible. Walking the property with the inspector can make the report easier to understand. Seeing the issue in person is often clearer than reading a photo and a paragraph later. The best question to ask is not, "Is this house perfect?" No house is perfect. A better question is, what problems are normal maintenance, what problems are urgent, and what problems change the deal? Inspection results should be connected to budget. A buyer may accept old appliances but not an old roof. They may accept cosmetic repairs but not foundation movement. The right decision depends on cost, risk, financing, and tolerance. Budget turns information into a decision. A buyer with cash reserves may accept an old water heater. A buyer using every available dollar to close may need to treat the same issue more seriously. A home inspection protects against surprise, not against every possible defect. It gives the buyer a clearer picture before committing more money and emotion. That clarity can prevent a dream home from becoming a hidden repair project. The goal is not to find a flawless house. The goal is to know what you are actually buying. A good inspection helps the buyer choose with open eyes instead of relying on paint, staging, and hope. A home inspection is also a communication tool. The report gives buyers, sellers, agents, and contractors a shared list of issues to discuss. Without that list, negotiation can become emotional and vague. With it, people can talk about specific defects, costs, and priorities. The shared report also reduces confusion after closing. If the buyer keeps it, they have a reference for future repairs, contractor calls, and maintenance priorities. Buyers should pay attention to patterns, not only individual defects. One stain may be minor. Several moisture clues across the basement, attic, and exterior grading may point to a larger water management problem. Patterns are often more important than isolated notes. The report should also be read with age in mind. An old roof, old water heater, or old HVAC system may still be working today, but near the end of its useful life. A buyer needs to know whether future replacement costs are close. A smart buyer does not use the inspection only to demand repairs. Sometimes the better choice is a price credit, a specialist review, a maintenance plan, or walking away. The inspection gives options. The buyer still has to choose the option that fits risk and budget. A buyer should leave the process with priorities, not panic. The inspection is successful when it helps separate ordinary ownership work from defects that change risk, cost, or willingness to proceed.